AMC stock price is getting a very tight build out of very long-term descending structure. There has been a lot of lackluster activity around these lower $2, $3, $4 levels, but we are seeing a potential breakout opportunity for upside. My name is Dylan from Dylan Trades. We're going to break down and analyze AMC stock price. As always, jumping first to the weekly to get a very long-term perspective within stock price, then going to the daily and the hourly to get a full gauge comprehensive technical analysis. Starting now, once again on the weekly. So all in all here, very interesting image. Over the course of the past few years, have seen a lot of negative momentum with these very obvious lower highs, symbolizing a lower trend right alongside these lower lows. But what has been interesting is that we have started to see that kind of dull out. Around this lower $2 level, we have seen the bulls stepping up previously around April of 2024, spiking from $2 all the way back towards that $11.83 level. Very strong reversion just to come back to it around a year later, forming a nice base before getting upside to $4. Okay, so as of right now, clearly seeing just a couple negative momentum attempts here from the bulls to get a breakout, within this structure, ultimately failing, end up coming right back to the breakout level, failing from this low and just breaking down. So the number one thing you have to keep in mind here on the weekly is, does stock price maintain this more long-term low? As this is the number one level that everybody's going to be watching. Does stock price hold over that $2.30 level? Again, this very nice trajectory and defend this low. As if this does happen, you could be looking at a weekly liquidity sweep. As simple as that, guys. If we zoom in a little bit deeper, once stock price notes such a big level like we're seeing right now and gets to that, if you see stock price break below it with a lot of momentum, get back to that initial breakout level, and then get over it, you could see right back upside to that next formidable high, which would be around $3 in this instance, or even higher. So with all that being noted, we're going to keep a very close eye on that $2.30 level. Now will be the tug of war that the buyers and the sellers will be battling at. Whoever is going to win from that level likely will depict the trend. As of right now, it is very hard to say. We'll continue to analyze and track this live. Keep an eye on that level, incredibly big, responsive. With this being noted, we're now going to flip to the daily to get the next step within the analysis. So, the daily, guys, clearly seeing this descending channel that has, structure around that October duration, did have this very obvious bull flag structure or a descending wedge, whatever you want to call it. Very obvious lower highs pushing into these lower two medium lows and then getting a very tight pinch and breakout. Notice how when you zooming in on that breakout level, you only got 1-2 days over that, then pushing back with this highlight arrow. We did mention on the channel, this is a false breakout. Just as we mentioned on the weekly, when stock price gets to a very big level, then gets over it, then shoots under it, this is very, commonly known as a liquidity sweep. Okay, where you're going to see that big level, once again, shown to have the upside, breaking above, hitting stop losses, then getting that more long-term movement. So as of right now, we're looking at that to the contrary. I would say the short-term momentum has flipped more to neutral than bearish, which is a very good staple. Okay, so since $3, we have been in a bearish projection with the sellers here pushing into this very tight trading channel. So with all this being noted, guys, definitely got to see the upside here. And you zoom in a little bit closer, and we did break this descending channel, and this should be the instance where you see some strong activity, which we did see on the first day, then pulling back and regressing to this initial breakout level, now basing at that very obvious $2.30 location, which will be a good staple point. Yeah, so if you do break below $2.25 from the daily perspective, you're now basing below this tight, very, very, very tight bull flag hourly descending triangle, whatever you want to call it, right? Debated based off this full, pull structure. Nonetheless, very tight squeeze at this level. Back testing this very tight descending channel, we should see upside at this level. If $2.25 is broken, that's going to be your sign that $2 likely will be retested for that double bottom as scenario within this very obvious double bottom pattern. Then could be a bounce pushing back come next week, but that is what it looks like as of right now. So definitely the candle structure is neutral. Simple as that. Do the bulls hold over with presence at this level, get the breakout come the next day, and then continue this uptrend that definitely could occur, but you're going to need to see the volume step back up, see that volatility, snap back up, give traders something to be excited here for AMC to stop the bears short selling this stock. It is a very short selling, big stock. They do a lot of nasty things to push this thing down. It's clearly represented within stock price. I mean, we've seen that once again, almost picture perfect breakout fail here, right, to crack over and then just retest it and then collapse. Typically they will step in at big times to get that big reversions. Now it's going to flip back to the buyers to get that ultimate upside. Have seen this being defended over the course of the past year in this location, once again around April to May of this year, getting that push back towards $4, but ended up being short-lived, pulling back. So we're going to need to see that momentum hold at this level. Long story short, from the daily to get that more long-term up sign. Alrighty, so this is the last step within the analysis today, and we do see stock price getting an extremely textbook pennant structure on the hourly. And this is incredibly key. Okay, when you see AMC get this very obvious lower high channel to this very tight pinch, you're going to see very reactive moves to the upper, the lower from this level. And as of right now, where's the base for that? $2.25. This does align with that weekly $2.30 level we've been chanting not too long ago. So we have to keep this in mind, guys. A lot of these levels are, lined in a very tight line here. $2.25, $2.30, and the breakout level will be $2.34 over this very obvious high here on the hourly. So a very thin trading margin here. Okay, expect the bulls to take dominance over $2.34. If they could see some nice upside come the next Monday, Tuesday, or perhaps some liquidation here, pushing back within a short term towards $2.60 over this last big rejection point, which did have a lot of respect. That would make a lot of logical sense, and that would be the price target if you could see the upside back over $2.34. But as of right now, we need to see the bulls step up, and to the contrary, $2.25. If you guys found any value in the video today, consider dropping a sub and a like. Very important time here for that more weekly liquidity. Sweet. Have a good day, guys. Take care. Trade smart. And peace.